Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome to the very first episode of my Football Manager 2018 series. Yep, the wait is finally over and FM is returning to my channel for the fifth and perhaps final time. And if this is to be the final series I do for YouTube, then this should be a very memorable one. Because after really fun, enjoyable saves with Everton in FM 14, Southampton in FM 15, Swansea in FM 16 and Hull City in FM 17, for FM 18 we'll be starting outside the Premier League for the first time ever, and we'll be beginning our adventure at a club I've supported since I was a kid, Millwall from the Championship. So naturally, I'm obviously very excited for this, and if you've watched any of my previous saves, firstly, thank you very much. You should know what to expect. But if you're new to the channel, then make sure you subscribe as I upload videos every single day, and I hope you enjoy what will be the first FM save of mine you'll watch. Now, for those of you who don't know much about me, I have been playing Football Manager and Championship Manager for a very long time. My first ever CM was a demo disc I got with a box of cereal a very long time ago now, and my first ever Championship Manager was CM4, where Moses, Ashikodi and Cherno Samba were the most lethal strike Joe the Den has ever seen. That was the first full game I owned of the CM/FM series, and I gotta say I've been hooked ever since then. And since then the game has obviously evolved so much over the years into what it is now, and if you've never played FM before and only had experience with FIFA's career mode, then you're in for a treat, to say the very least. FM is a really immersive game. It's highly detailed with so much depth, and it's a world you can so easily get lost in when you start playing. I can't tell you how many times I've started playing at 8 PM, saying to myself, one more game at 10 PM, and then looking over at the clock at 2 in the morning and realise I've completely lost all self-control. It's a great game, and it's definitely worth playing if you've never had a go before, but if you've never tried it and you want to watch someone else play before you have a go at buying it yourself, then hopefully I'll be able to provide you a really entertaining series. Now, I'm not the best player by any means. In fact, I probably consider myself average to a little bit below average at best. But that's what makes these series a lot of fun, really. My saves are never about trying to win as many trophies as possible and trying to dominate. It's all just about having a bit of fun, really, and trying to learn and improve my skills along the way as well. So throughout this series, I'm sure I'll be turning to you guys, as always, to give me some tactical advice in the comment section to help us break out of some inevitable ruts at different points of the season. But this should be really enjoyable, and I can't wait. It should be fun. So starting with Millwall then, I've taken Neil Harris, Super Neil Harris's job. I felt really guilty about that, but the relationship with me is good. That's always good to see. One day, Neil is going to call me up and say, Jay, want to kick about in the garden? And that is going to make my life. I'm obviously a massive Neil Harris fan, a club legend, record goal scorer of the club. And for those who don't know too much about Millwall, as I run you through the squad right here, we have just come up from League One, which is the third tier of English football. Championship is now where we play in the second tier, and of course the Premier League is the top tier of English football. We've just been promoted from League One last year, and we had a bit of a dark period under first Steve Lomas for a brief period of time, and then Ian Holloway. Those two got us relegated over the course of 2 years. Harris took over as interim manager after being reserves coach beforehand at the end of the 2015 season, sorry. And then we spent 2 years in League One, reached successive playoff finals, lost the first, but last year won, and thus we're back to the Championship. And we have had a really great season. We've had an incredible run, extraordinary run. We are just looking unstoppable at the Den right now. It's been an absolute fortress. I think Harris should have been manager a month last year. It went to Neil Warnock, and fair enough, Cardiff have been fantastic this season, so that makes total sense, but Harris has done an incredible job in such a short space of time. This is only his third full year as a professional manager in professional football, and for what he's done on a limited budget with a really decent enough squad, but nothing spectacular, it's been fantastic, and I think he's not been given enough credit, and the team in general have not been given enough credit for where we are right now, which is mid-table in the Championship and not actually that far off the playoffs. But as for what we expect to do in the game, whilst I've bigged the team up a lot there, don't expect much. In the first season, my goal is to keep Millwall in the Championship. As you see our team report here in the squad depth as well, it's a decent team. You might notice one name. If you're not too familiar with the squad, you might notice one name, Tim Cahill, who of course started his pro career with the club. Of course, re-signed in January in a bid to get himself fit and match fit for the World Cup. Tim Cahill's here. We've got a decent team. There's enough depth to the side. However, the Championship is a really competitive division. It's a really, really strong league, and thus I'm not totally confident in my own ability that I can have as successful as a season as we're having in real life. For me, my main goal in the Championship this season is just to keep us up. Long term, yeah, of course, we want to push for the playoffs in 2, 3, 4 years. But in the first season, stay in the Championship. Second season, try and get ourselves a little bit of stability and naturally progress through the series that way. That's the goal regardless. Let's see how we do. But as for new signings with Millwall, you just saw our finances there. We've not got much money. We haven't had a lot of money for a while, and we've got a decent squad as it is, so I didn't really feel the need to make new signings because with the money we've got, there wasn't really anyone that could really improve the squad. We did have Sebastian Bassong, once with Spurs, on a trial, and after Bolton offered a contract, I thought we could do with an experienced defender possibly to help us out. But then I thought, to be honest, we've got such good centre backs here already. We've got enough depth in the CB role. We didn't really need another one. And I thought if Bassong doesn't want a really low salary contract on a 2-year deal, then I'm not interested. And I offered him, I think it was like 2.1, 2.2k a week and some very low bonuses. And Sebastian's agent said the opening offer was far too, away from where they were going. So I thought, forget it then. We're not really interested. So we've got enough centre backs anyway. And I didn't make any signings at all in this first summer transfer window because again, we've got a decent enough team here. We've got more than enough depth here. There's a couple of decent young talents to watch out for in Fred Onyedinma and Ben Thompson and Aidan O'Brien as well. So I like the team we've got, and I didn't really feel the need to make any signings, but I did bring some people to the club, but those were staff members. I brought 2 fitness coaches in, one called Julian Jimenez, a Spanish coach who I believe had 18 for his fitness stat, and I brought an English one as well. Coaching staff in FM is one of the most underrated things, I think, or at least what I've found over the years as well. You need a really good coaching setup. So I thought I'd bring in 2 fitness coaches because the Championship's a long season. You've got 46 games, plus you've got to factor in the cup games as well. I brought in 2 fitness coaches to help us out, and yeah, they're on low wages, so hopefully that will improve our fitness over the course of the season. So that's pretty much it for the first part of the video. We got through pre-season really quickly indeed. As you see, my coaching staff here, the 2 fitness coaches I hired, helped our fitness overall comparison to the other teams in the league look a lot better. That's pretty much it for pre-season. We just played the games, didn't make any signings. I'm going to dive into the first game of the season, which is away against Nottingham Forest. All the episodes will be recorded live. This first part of the series opener was a post commentary, but all the episodes will be recorded live from now on. And yeah, I'm really excited for this series. I hope you guys are as well. It should be an awful lot of fun. Come on, you Lions. Let's see if we can win the first game of the season. Okay then guys, so we are about to dive into the first game of the season as we take on Nottingham Forest away at the City Ground. I just want to show you how pre-season went before we do dive into it. Obviously that was a really quick pre-season for us, making no signings at all. And as you can see, we played 6 friendlies and we won them all apart from one. We lost to Basel by 3 goals to 2 very late on, but not a terrible scoreline there against FC Basel. And yeah, a relatively successful pre-season in terms of the fixtures. As for how the squad is currently looking, well, of course, no changes to the side as we started the season. It's a little bit worse for in terms of match sharpness right now for quite a few players, but that will hopefully be improving over the course of the season. And also as well, I wanted to show you the competitions overviews as well. Right now, as you can see, the expectations, I think I forgot to show you this in the brief introduction, are to avoid relegation in the Championship, as I did mention there. Reach the 4th round the FA Cup and reach the 2nd round the Carabao Cup, and our 1st round draw pits us against AFC Wimbledon as well. So that is basically that, and we may as well dive straight into the first game then. So yeah, let's get straight to it. Oh, I forgot that the game hasn't been moved forward like it was in real life to Friday night, but we'll quickly advance. We should be able to get through this quickly. There we go. So Saturday is here, and yeah, first game of the season, Nottingham Forest away at the City Ground. Let's see how we can get on. Now, as I did say, for me, I'm not the best player on Football Manager. I'm not great by any means, but if we can stay in the Championship, that is just my only hope, really. My only hope. I just want us to make sure we avoid a drop in the first season, because if we do go down, I'll probably be getting the sack, and then the series is over. So hopefully staying up is achievable. It certainly is, based on what we've done in real life, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. Now, Millwall line up in a 4-4-2. We played a really traditional formation. And we're really familiar with it. It's what we stay consistent with. So I'm not going to change that. I'm going to stick 4-4-2. But the lineups and the instructions and the tactics as well, all of this is going to change over the course of the series. And the 4-4-2 might change at some point as well. To begin with, we'll stay on the 4-4-2. But as you can see, it's we're going to be dropping slightly deeper in our defensive line, closing down a bit more, and looking for the overlap for our two fullbacks in Meredith and McLaughlin, with more direct passing as well, starting on a standard type of philosophy. And again, the lineup will change a lot over the course of the season, especially with 46 games. But this is the first team I've picked for the first game, and let's see how we get on. So we've got Jordan Archer in goal, back for James Meredith, Shackle, Hutchinson, and Connor McLaughlin. Our midfield four is Shane Ferguson on the left, Jed Wallace on the right, Sean Williams and Saville through the middle of the park, and up top together, Lee Gregory and Steve Morrison, club captain, with our bench looking like this. We've got Martin Cooper, Romeo Thompson on your dimmer, Aidan O'Brien, and Tom Elliott as well. So Tim Cahill right now has horrible match sharpness and is getting nowhere near the first 11. That's Ben Marshall, getting nowhere near the first 11 until that improves. But he will play at some point. So let's get into it then. First game, it's Nottingham Forest. We're at City Ground. Let's see how we get on. Just realising as well, I don't think I changed to 2D Classic. Now, for those who are wondering, I play on 2D Classic in the games, but I do have the replays in 3D. The reason being is because I play on an iMac, and decent specs to it, but really the 3D is very laggy on this iMac. And what should I say in the first team talk? Let's say calmly, I know we're the underdogs out there, but go out there and give the fans a performance to cheer for. No one's done anything. That's brilliant. So let's just kick off. Yeah, I play on 2D Classic, and this looks a bit different to normal. But the replays are on 3D, and yeah, hopefully these graphics would improve, because this looks really weird. I might have to change something, because this looks really weird. Okay, do you know what? I think the reason it's like that is because in the preferences, when I loaded up the game for the first time, I set the graphics quality to low, and that's why this looks really, really, really low quality. But I'll make sure for the next episode I'll improve that, and I should hopefully improve the 2D, because this looks really, really poor. Like, my iMac is not the best in terms of specs, but it's not that bad. So I'll make sure I improve that for the second game, and when we get to the second episode. But we're approaching the quarter of an hour mark. We're still tied at 0-0, and here is the first highlight, as I do play on key for what it's worth, and it is unfortunately going to come to Forest as Osborne goes for goal and hits the post and goes behind for a goal kick. So not an ideal start. Pick it up, lads. Come on. Second highlight, and it looks like it's going to come to Forest again as Osborne finds Morlow down the left-hand side. They've made the brighter beginning to the game. Where's the... can I put the match stats on the left-hand side? There we go. Here come Forest. Morlow down left-hand side, shooting, putting it wide the post, and they've made the brightest start. We've not been terrible according to these stats here, but we're yet to get anything going in our favour, and that's what we want to see. So Arch plays his goal kick long towards Morrow, and he loses out in the air, and Forest will get it back again, and with a good start of pressure for them, you're pretty confident at some point they're going to make it pay and get in front, as the Jagger finds Eric Lehigh down this right-hand side, and Lehigh continues to play it in now to the Jagger, and the Jagger's shot is blocked. It'll come back to Lehigh, across the middle. Mono is there, over the bar, still 0-0. Might need to make alterations, because at the moment we're really struggling. So we're 3 minutes into the second half. We're currently still tied at 0-0. We survived the first half onslaught, but Forest are starting off the second half on the front foot, just like they were for the first 45 minutes as well. But as Williams makes a tackle there is a chance on the break. It's Morrison on the ball, playing a long one to Lee Gregory, latches onto it. Michael Mancien playing catch-up, and that's our first real chance. But Gregory could not take advantage. Mancien putting the pressure on. Gregory fires it wide, still 0-0. And really, based on the stats, that's our best chance of getting goals here, hitting Forest on the counter. So whilst I can, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to switch our mentality to counter. That will invite more pressure. We've withstood it for the time being, and we'll try and hopefully get some goals on the break to get us in front. Let's keep the tempo on normal for the time being. We'll pump the ball to the box though, keep it on more direct passing as well, and we'll just change those two tactics to begin with and see if that can wield us some positive results. Highlight directly afterwards. How much do you want to bet this comes to Forest and they get in front due to my changes? Here's Jack Cole back on the ball, and he'll play it into Mollo, and he turns his man, shot deflected it straight to Fuentes, and Colback picks it back up for Forest. It's Dow on the ball, finding Osborne, back to Dow, through to Mollo, and there is the first goal. And this is exactly what I meant about me being a below average Football Manager player at the very best. Make a tactical change, 30 seconds later, we can see the goal. Dow with a lovely ball inside, and that is a great finish by Mollo, to be fair, right into the bottom corner, no chance for Jordan. And Forest do indeed take the lead. Maybe I shouldn't have invited that pressure, and it is 1-0. So not great, but listen, half an hour to go. Still time for us to get back on level terms, but it's looking at the moment, it's all one-way traffic for the most part. And here come the hosts once again with Lehigh taking the ball over the halfway line. And now the Jagger into Dow. And back towards Jack Cole, back inside the centre circle as Nottingham Forest look for another opening here. Slow build-up as they try and keep hold of the ball more than anything. Liam Brigg cut through to Cole, back in to Dow. And now to Mollo. He's hit us once. Can he do it again? This time way off target. Still 1-0. Right, I'm changing to attacking. Changing it again. Another highlight, sadly, once again for the hosts as Meredith heads away a throw straight to Liam Brigg cut. And I think the biggest concern right now is that there's no real midfield out there for us. They're all over the place. That's my fault for bad tactics. But as Mollo latches onto the ball and puts it in, it is now 2-0, and that is going to do it. We've been absolutely dominated in the first game of the series with 18 minutes to go. We're going to lose the first and be in the relegation zone with 45 games to go. Plenty of time to sort this out, but I need to get to grips with things quickly, because if we find ourselves in a very precarious position come October, November time, there may still be a while to go, but I wonder whether we can get out of it. So yeah, poor start this, but it was to be expected. Forest 2 goals up and definitely getting the 3 points. And so that should be the final whistle, and there it is right there. First game of the season, we lost 2-0. We got absolutely dominated. The bad news is we already sit in the relegation zone right away. But the good news is we can only go up from here. We can only go up. So I'm going to say I'm far from pleased with what I just saw from the team. We fired up most of the boys, but stressed out Shane Ferguson and Jed Wallace as well. And yeah, that wasn't really sort of like how I imagined the first game of the season going in my dreams last night. But realistically, that is probably what was to be expected. So a poor start to the season, a really poor beginning, losing the first game, getting absolutely dominated. It's safe to say there's a long way to go in this series, but hopefully the next episode will feature a little bit more positivity. So that will end the first episode of the Football Manager 2018 series, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy the episode, then please do drop a like, as likes are, of course, very much appreciated. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you for the next episode of the FM series very soon. I'll play a few games off camera, and we'll come back for perhaps a nice little doubleheader here with QPR away and Leeds at home in September as well. Bye.